Thank you guys all so much for joining me. This class is going to be the first class in a three-part series on savings. So the next three classes that we have, including this one, will all be around different ways that we can save money. And I'm going to go into a little bit more into depth on what the specifics of the class are going to be about. So, um, this class is on what to plan ahead to save money. That's what we're diving into today. And if you're new around here, if you don't know anything about me, I'd like to do a quick introduction of who I am. My name is Alaina, and I'm the owner of The Organized Money. I'm an accountant, a time management and financial coach, and a content creator. I have a planner shop. And if you follow me on Instagram, then y'all know I was just featured on Happy Planners website. They are featuring women of color, and I was one of the 11 shops that they selected. So I'm really, really excited about that. Definitely going to send y'all the link so that you can see the little write-up that they wrote on me. But that's what I do. I help people who want to learn how to plan their life and manage their money. And I talk both about planning and managing money. And the reason that I do that is because I have realized that most people, if you don't know how to plan correctly, if you don't know how to kind of organize your life, usually your money is thrown off as well. So that's why I like to talk about both. When I first started the Organized Money, like 3 years ago, I was literally just talking about money. And my planner was just kind of like my hobby, just a thing that I had going on. But I realized over time that my planner played a really big part in how I was able to save money, make money, manage money. It was all kind of like it was together. So I started talking about how to plan as well, and kind of left it, instead of it being just a hobby, I really incorporated it into my business. And I wanted to talk about that today. I wanted to talk about why I feel like planning is such a big part of it. And I know that most people see planning as a hobby and not really a necessity. And this particular class is not talking about planning as far as just paper planning. I do plan on paper, but if you plan digitally and it works for you, then you should definitely keep up with that system. Whatever works for you, you definitely want to keep that going. But I'm talking about planning ahead in general. With whatever system works for you, we're talking about how planning can definitely help your wallet and help you with your overall productivity. So that's what we're getting into today. And like I said, this is the first class in a three-class series on saving. And I'm going to be talking about the routines that you can set and the different things that I plan on a consistent basis in order to kind of help me save some money in the long run. So that's what we're talking about. Let's go ahead and jump into it. The first thing that I want you to think about, and all of the pictures that you see are on my office. These are all my planners. Like I said, I plan on paper, so that's the majority of the pictures that you're going to see. However, if you don't plan on paper, it's okay. You definitely can do this digitally as well. But the first thing that I want you to think about is creating a weekly schedule that you're going to be able to stick to. Why? You want to set a day where you are doing a number of things. You're looking at your schedule for the week. You're looking at the appointments that you may have coming up. You're looking at the errands that you need to run, what the weather will be like, and you're trying to see a couple of things. All right, the first thing that you're trying to see is, are there any errands that can be grouped together? What will this do? First, with your time frame, it will save you so much time. If you're able to group different like things that are in the same area, on the same day. Like I like to run all my errands on like a Monday morning. If I can, I'm gonna try and do everything, every place that I need to go since I work from home. I'm gonna try and do it in that time frame so I'm not wasting as much gas. Another thing that I'll do is I check the weather and I will add, my weather to my calendar, because adding the weather will help me from buying miscellaneous things like umbrellas or different things that I may need to get because I didn't set aside and plan and have an umbrella in my car. Also, had knowing what appointments that I have coming up also helps me to plan a little bit better. So this saves you some money along gas. It saves you in having to go multiple places and being kind of drained. I noticed that whenever I didn't plan my day correctly, usually by the middle of the day I'm worn out, and then I want fast food and I want to buy something, or I want to kind of like get myself back, on a good, my emotions on a good level. So a lot of times I would end up buying stuff to kind of help me get back emotionally, but it's because I did not plan well. If you're able to plan well and create your weekly schedule, you can kind of set the tone of what you need to do for the week. So, like I said, we're planning our schedule, we're looking at appointments, we're looking at errands, we're seeing what we can group together, what we can batch together, what the weather is going to be. All of these things will help you plan a consistent schedule, which will, in the end, it doesn't feel like it's going to save you money, but it will save you money and time. So that's the very first area of your life that I would like you to plan in order for you to save money. The second thing that I want you to do is coordinate with your spouse. If you are married or you are dating someone very, very seriously, then you want to talk with your spouse about what's coming up for your week, what errands you need to run, what you have kind of going on. Me and my husband do this every single Sunday. We'll just be sitting on the couch, watching TV. We might be eating dinner, and we will just talk about what's coming up for the next week. And I'm saying, what's going on with you this week, and he's telling me different things that he has scheduled, and I might be telling him different things that I have scheduled. We may even coordinate about different things we may want to do with our girls. And this helps us so much because, like I talked about, how we, in the first slide, we're talking about how we're creating our weekly schedule. Sometimes my husband will be going somewhere that, across the street is somewhere where I needed to go. A lot of times this will happen with him he say, oh, I'm going to the bank, and the bank is across the street from the post office, and he can go instead of me. I know a lot of times, especially as women, we don't like to ask for help. We feel like it's almost like a cop-out to ask for help. But being able to coordinate with him and getting him to do some things that I had on my plan or my schedule helps out so much. Once again, it saves in gas. It saves in time, and me having to go from place to place. It saves a lot of my energy. So coordinating with whoever you live with, it may be, if you have kids that currently drive, it may be your kid, it may be your husband, it may be your wife, whoever is in the house with you that may be able to help you along with some of the different things that you have. You definitely want to coordinate with them, and you want to check in with them throughout the course of the week. So we will check in usually on a Sunday and a Wednesday, and we're just kind of checking in, seeing what each other has going on. And if there's something that I can kind of help him with, or he can help me with, we coordinate and we will adjust accordingly. So that's the second area. That's the second thing that I want you to do. The third thing that I would like you to do is plan your purchases at the beginning of the week. So we are really, really, really good at planning bills, right? We know our budget. I know every bill that's due. I know when it's due, the date. It may come out automatically, but usually we don't think about the other things that may come up throughout the course of the week that we have not planned for. So I'm talking about like if you plan your week and you know you have a really, really busy Tuesday, right? Tuesday is going to be super, super busy, and you know that you're not going to have time to cook, or you're not going to have time to get different things together, then you may actually plan to eat out. Or if you know you have a certain event coming up, a baby shower, a wedding, shower, or something like that, then you can plan ahead what you're going to have to purchase or buy ahead of time, instead of just waiting and then having to go to the convenience store or go to a Walgreens or a CVS, which convenience stores cost us so much more money than if we were to get those exact same items at a Walmart or at a grocery store while we're already shopping for groceries. But if we plan those different things that we may need at the beginning of the week, then you're less likely to spend more additional money throughout the course of the week. So I will do this with my husband. A lot of times we will plan ahead of time if we're planning on eating out, instead of us just running throughout the course of the day, never thinking about what we're going to eat, and then calling each other and saying, okay, what are we going to eat right now? Usually we'll plan ahead of time. Okay, Saturday we're going to eat out this week, and then on Sunday we have a baby shower, so I'm going to get that gift on Monday morning. And I'm literally planning all of these things while I'm thinking of my budget, because then it won't kind of sideswipe me and mess up my budget in the long run. So planning all of those miscellaneous random purchases that usually come up, try and think about them on a Sunday, and think about your entire week. Think about what errands you need to run. Think about the appointments that you may have, and clearly think about, okay, as I have these appointments, am I going to a coffee shop for this appointment? If I am I going to spend money there? This is literally what you're doing. So you're thinking through each different thing that you have going on, which will overall help you in thinking about if you're actually going to need to spend money. Okay, so that's the third thing that I want you to think about when you are planning ahead. The next one, y'all should know that this one was coming, but the number one thing that we spend our money on is food. It's always food. Food is such a big expense. And that's why I think every financial coach that I know talks about it in depth. And that is, of course, I want you to plan your meals. Now, there is a certain way that I like to plan my meals, and I kind of wanted to dive into it because I know that we always talking about planning your meals, making sure you think ahead of what you want to get. But this is the way that I want you to plan your meals. The first thing that I want you to do is take an inventory of what you already have. Look at the expiration date of the things that is in your refrigerator and in your pantry. You want to take an inventory before you create your grocery list, because if something is coming up, if something is about to be expired or about to kind of mess you up, then you want to let me try and add things so I can cook this particular thing this week so I don't miss the expiration date and have to throw it away. Avia, let me let you know, I am going to send out this recording of this class. So if you missed the first 2 points, I am going to send out the recording so that you can watch the entire thing all over again if you want. So the first thing that I want you to do if you are planning your meals is take inventory of what you already have. We're going through our refrigerator, going through the pantry. We're looking at expiration dates, looking at everything to make sure that if it's coming up to be expired, we're thinking about if we can cook that so that we don't have to throw it away. The next thing that you do after you look in your pantry and your refrigerator is then you're creating your grocery list. You're creating the list of groceries that you're needing around the things that you already have a lot. And it's best if you kind of bulk, think about what you're going to eat multiple times throughout the course of the week. So I like to see if there is an ingredient that I can cook with multiple meals so that I can keep my grocery bill down. What do I mean? Like if you are getting something like bacon, if we get bacon, we might be able to eat that for breakfast. We might be able to get baked potatoes and make that something that we may eat for dinner. But using the same ingredients for multiple meals will definitely save you so much money in the long run on your grocery bills. So we are talking about taking an inventory of what you already have, looking for the items that might be expired, adding, creating your grocery list around and creating meals around like different meals with the same type of ingredients, if you can do that. And then when you are shopping your list, when you are going to the grocery store, you want to stay as focused as possible and not veer off of your list because you created that list to make sure that you stay on track. So you definitely want to try your best to stick with your list. Then, like I said, we talked about this before, but deciding when you're going to eat out. We don't always eat in. I actually really enjoy eating out. Me and my husband, we really do. Cooking is not our favorite thing to do. However, we pick certain days that we're going to eat out and we pick when we're going to eat in. So we usually will say, okay, throughout the week, we're definitely going to eat in and cook everything that we have here. And then on Saturday and Sunday, we're going to eat out or we're going to get something that we really want from a restaurant. And we have different levels to how we eat out. Like sometimes it might be a fast food night. Other times it might be something in the middle, like a Chili's or a Fridays, like more of like a family type restaurant. And then on other nights, it might be a higher priced restaurant. But we get to decide, we plan all of that. What type of night is it going to be and how we're going to eat out? And then a bonus tip is something that I learned a while ago, and it really, really, really did help me. So I'm hoping that it will help you. And that is learn how to cook your favorite dish. If it's something that you absolutely love, like I love pasta, like a shrimp pasta, and it was like the blackened shrimp pasta was my absolute favorite. And I looked it up and figured out how to make it. Now, it's not exactly like the restaurant, but it's something that I really do enjoy. And it makes cooking not that bad if I get to cook my favorite dish. So, if there's something that you absolutely love, you love Mexican food, you love pasta like me, you love, there's something that you love, learning how to cook it will kind of alleviate that feeling of, oh, I don't want to cook. It might make it a little bit easier if you're cooking something that you absolutely love. So these are the steps that you should take when it comes down to planning your meals. That's the things that we want to do. The next tip that I have, number 5, is to stock up on certain items. So, when it comes to saving money or trying to store up, what I realize is that a lot of times it's not the really big purchases that get us off track. It's the little things that come up that cause us to spend money that will get us off track with our budget. So there, with this particular area, there are certain things that I will stock up on. Now, I don't usually always stock up on a lot of grocery items because I don't have a lot of space for that, but I will stock up on smaller items like gift bags, cards, like thank you cards, birthday cards, just having a nice amount of them in my stock. And I will also stock up on small gift items like candles and lotion and just little things that I can pack up. And the reason why is because 9 times out of 10, usually those are the small little purchases that will come up and sneak up on you. Like if you have something that you have to give to a coworker or a friend, or an event came up, then not having to go to the store to get all of these things, which could possibly throw off your budget, having them already on hand will definitely help you. And even when we're talking about planning ahead for like Christmas and different things like that, because if you have a small bunch of items that you have collected throughout the course of the year, then you won't have to make a huge big purchase of all of these items for Christmas or for any type of big days. You already have it in stock. You can just pick it up, pick out a bag. You already have a card. You can just kind of roll from there. So this is buying the small items when you see them on sale and stocking up on them. Now, I don't want you to go out and get everything right now, because then it would throw off your budget for this week. What I'm talking about is literally taking, anytime you're already out and you have a little extra money in your budget and you see something really small that's on sale, like a candle or some lotion, and it's something that you know you can just keep on hand, then just pick it up. And then that way, when it comes down to something coming up and popping up on you, you already have it on hand and you don't have to, go out and buy something else. The next tip is to plan ahead for your life categories. So, I'm not sure if we've ever talked about life categories on here, because this is Money Monday and that's mainly a planning thing that I talk about. But if you've never heard of me talk about life categories are areas of your life that are important to you. I have 7 life categories that I talk about on a consistent basis. I have a planner or some type of planning system. One, and my life categories are spiritual, mental, health, relationships, home, financial, and career. Those are my 7. These are the 7 things that are super important to me. So when I am talking about relationships, I'm talking about with my husband, with my friends, my family members. When I'm talking about spiritual, I'm talking about my Bible study, all of that, my prayer life. My mental, I'm talking about reading, the ways that I'm going to learn and enhance my health. I'm talking about how I work out, what I'm eating, my house, my cleaning schedule, projects, organizational things that I'm doing. My financial is budgeting and everything in that area, and my career, which is the different goals and things that I have set for my business. So planning for each one of these areas first will make sure that you are having a balanced life, which I really believe will help you overall, because a lot of times we want to focus in on one area. We want to focus on our money, right? Like, I just want my money to be great. I just want my money to get up. But the issue is that when you aren't planning for everything across the board, usually you'll get your money together and in another life category will kind of come in and mess up your money. So you really want to think about all of your life categories. With me, I do have a planning system for each one of them. I would encourage you to do the same, even if it's not a paper planner like I have. I would suggest that you think about what are your goals in each area that you have. Because if you don't set health goals, if you don't say, you know what, I'm going to go walking, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, then sometimes not having a goal in health will mess up your money, and then you may have to buy medicine and have to all of a sudden you might have to do a complete revamp because we weren't planning in that area. So like I said, planning in the areas that are important to you. These are my 7. They may not be your 7, right? You may have a complete list of different categories that fit you, but I do want you to think about them, about what's important to you, because money affects it all. Money affects every area of your life. So I like to plan ahead on what I'm going to do, what books I'm going to read, and when I'm going to read them. Because if I'm purchasing books, that's going to affect my money. If I'm purchasing stuff for my health, it's going to affect my money. Everything, every other life thing that I have going on, even date night with my husband, if that's a goal of mine, then I also have to think about how it's going to affect my money. So, thinking about your life categories. What's important to you? What are areas? Is family super important to you? And if family is super important to you, then that's great. What do you want to do with your family? You say, I want to go on vacation every single year with my family. Well, that's something that's going to affect your money. So now that we need to plan in the family area of going on vacation, we also need to think about how that particular area is going to affect our finances. And then we can create this whole balanced financial system around our life categories. So that's your homework for today, is to think about your life categories. We talked about this, and we have a class on Wednesday in Tom Academy, if you're a part of Tom Academy, that's going to go more in depth on the life categories. We're going to be diving way more into it and really talking about how you can plan that effectively and the different things that are considered in these life categories and how you can plan for them. So if you're a part of Tom Academy, know that that class is this particular Wednesday. It is this Wednesday on Tom Academy. Tom Academy is $20 a month if you're interested in that, and I'll send out the link for that on tomorrow as well. We do classes on Wednesdays that will kind of go even further into the different things that we talk about on Monday. So your life categories, figuring out what they are for you, what areas are important to you. It's going to be 6:30 p.m. Central, Sophia, for Tom Academy class. So knowing what's important to you, starting to figure out how to connect that to your money, what is important to you and how it affects your money, is your life category. So I want you to start planning that. Number 7, and this is going to be a topic for really our next Money Monday. Remember, I told you guys that this is a 3-part series. This class is the first class on saving, and then the second class is going to be this one, which is planning for events that don't happen every single month. They are consistently called sinking funds. If you have never heard of the term sinking funds, it is where you are planning for things that don't happen every single month, that aren't consistently in your budget, but they do happen from time to time. So when I'm talking about sinking funds, I'm talking about 2 different things. The first one is foreseeable emergencies. What I mean by foreseeable, we're talking about car maintenance, home repairs, projects, random things that are not in your budget, but they do come up from time to time. You don't know when your car is going to get a flat. We don't know when that's going to happen, but when it does, we need to have money set aside for that, and we don't want it to like hijack our budget, because a lot of times if we don't have money set aside, then these are the things that will really mess us up, and repairs is huge. The second thing that is considered sinking funds is planning for events that do not happen every single month, but we know when they're going to happen. So this is birthdays, anniversaries, Christmas, Thanksgiving, those particular things. And the 2 ones, like, so these are 2 areas of sinking funds. One where it's an emergency that I don't know when it's going to happen, but I know that it's going to happen at some point, like my car getting a flat tire. I don't know when it's going to happen, but I know that it will happen at some point. And then the other one is ones that we know exactly when they're going to happen, because they happen at the exact same time every year. And we just need to have a plan in place to to pay for them. So next week's class, because this was such an in-depth topic, I want to dive into the two ways, because I save for both of these in different ways. And so I wanted to really dive into how I save for foreseeable emergencies, for car repairs, maintenance, and stuff like that, and how I save for birthdays, anniversaries, Christmas, and Thanksgiving, which I've kind of talked about it before, but I wanted to get even more in depth on in our next class. So that's our next class on savings. But planning for these events, these things that happen that don't happen every single month, is another area that if you plan correctly, it will definitely save you a lot of money. Out of all of the tips that I have given you, this is probably my number one tip. I think it's the last one, but it's probably the most important one, because this is the one that has messed me up personally more than any other of the other things that I have talked about. And that's because repairs and stuff like that can really get you off track. They can really, really mess you up. So that's why it's a complete separate class. I'm talking about it today just to put it on your radar, because it's something that I want you to consider. But I wanted to go into depth in the next class to make sure that you fully understand how sinking funds work and how you can possibly save for them. Okay, so we're going to get into that on next Monday. And yes, that was the last one. So upcoming classes. Next class, like I told you guys before, is going to be how to save for expenses that don't happen every single month. We're going to get into the two ways that I save for sinking funds, how I save for repairs and different things like that, and how I save for Christmas and other events that happen every single that don't happen every single month. And then the next class, which is November 2nd, is going to be how to save for a house, which is like a big purchase. When we're talking about houses and cars and stuff like that, there is a specific way that you should save for these instead of it just being a side account. There's certain things that you have to prepare and do. So I did want to talk about that as well. And of course, I talked about it lightly while we were already in, but of course we are in Tom Academy. If you decide to join, it is $20 a month. And we usually are going into in-depth on different things that we discuss on Money Monday more. So this particular Wednesday's class is developing life categories. Like I talked about how to develop your life categories. What are the specific things that need to be included? How to think through this, and literally how to set them up. So that's what we're going to talk about on this particular Wednesday. Along with that, if you decide to join Tom Academy, you get the library of all of the Money Monday classes and the downloads and the homework associated with the classes. So let me see, do y'all have any other questions? Let me stop my share. Let's see, do we have any other questions? Let's see. Yeah, capital is the class that that's the one that I'm going to talk about on next week. If you have never heard of capital, it's just like Digit. It's another app that I use that helps me save for my sinking funds. So I wanted to go into depth and like show you guys how I set up capital, how I use it, the pictures, like how you can set it up in order to make it work for you. Because there's this particular way that I set up for my sinking funds. I do not save for all of them at the exact same time. I kind of have a system of how I save for each one that's coming up. And I wanted to really like dive into that so that y'all can see that. And then the class after that, because once you have your planner system set up, once you know how to save for those random things that come up, then saving for big purchases is just the next thing that comes next. So that's why I wanted to really, really dive into how to save for a house, how to save for cars, how to save for those big purchases that may be coming up. Okay, let me see. Alice, Um, so Tom Academy, Alice, is in auto renewal. So if you sign up, whenever you sign up, it charges you on the first time, it charges you whenever you sign up, because when you sign up, you automatically get access to all of the Money Monday classes and the downloads. So you're automatically charged. And then you aren't charged again until the first of the month. So on the first of the month is when you're charged again. And then we have classes on Wednesdays for Tom Academy, and you have the Money Monday. Of course, we also have the Monday classes where we're talking about money on Mondays. But for the Wednesday classes, it's more in depth onto planning, life stuff, and money stuff, but really how they relate together and how to use them together. So that's why those are kind of separate. On planning purchases, ordering my groceries online has been a huge helper when it comes to keeping track. Yes. I agree 100%, and I can't believe I didn't say it, because we definitely do this. I order my groceries on walmart.com. We order them and then pick them up. If you have never done that before, definitely consider doing it. It is a huge budget saver, because first, we're not walking through and just trying to put everything that we can think of in the cart. Secondly, it saves us a bunch of time, because we don't have to make time to actually go to the store and try and shop. Everything, they already pack it for us. It's already paid for. We pull up and they just put it in the car, and I know I'm not going over budget. You know how when you get to the conveyor belt, you're like, wait a minute, I don't know if I want this yet. I need to see how much all of this is first. You avoid all of that if you buy your groceries online. So I agree 110%. Buy your groceries online and just pick them up. Can you go over how to use credit cards to help build wealth and your credit score? I believe, I'm not sure if we talked about this in the rebuilding of your credit score. I have a class on that. We did it a couple of Mondays ago where we talked about how to rebuild credit. But building wealth and credit might be a little bit different. We definitely need to do one on credit card hacking, because I do have a credit card that I kind of use just to get the points. And we can talk about that, but I do have a class on rebuilding it for your credit score. So if you email me, I can definitely send you that class. Yes, this is a great class. Thank you. Thank you so much. The classes are for replay. I sent out the immediate one that we just had. Like if it's today, I will always send it out tomorrow. And then if you want access to the full library of all the classes, that's in Tom Academy. I tried Capital and it didn't work with my bank, which is Suncoast. I will try again. Yeah, if it does not work, there is another one that you can use. It's called Digit, D-I-G-I-T. And it's exactly like Capital. It's the exact same thing. The only thing is that I believe the fee might be a little bit different. I'm gonna have to look up the difference in the fees, because I know Capital is like $5 or $6 a month. And I was gonna mention that in my class, but it's completely worth it, in my opinion. It's so worth it, because I would never save the amount of money I save on the app without it. So, but there is another one called Digit that's pretty much just like it. Can you join Tom Academy anytime? You can join at any time. However, I will say this, if you join, I wouldn't advise joining like too late in the month, because the way that the system sets up, it will charge you when you sign up. So if you sign up, if you sign up on like the 29th and it charges you again on the 1st, I would wait until the 1st. I wouldn't do it now. Since we have classes every single Wednesday, then you can sign up whenever you want. It's completely up to you. Just know that the 1st is when they charge you. The 1st is when they charge you again. So you just want to be careful with that. I can go in And I know I have refunded some people if they signed up too close, but I just wanted you to be aware that it does happen, because even if they charge you and I refund you, it takes a little, like it takes a couple days to get your $20 back. So I want you to be careful with that. Can you cover how you would budget for a month end income? I can. I don't think that's a topic that we have talked about. So I can definitely look into that, a month end income, like how you can budget for that. My husband is saying ordering groceries online is a game changer. Yes, 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 yes. Definitely, I recommend it 110%. And he mainly does a lot of our like grocery shopping and setting aside. So he definitely knows even more than I do about how ordering it online is the best. Okay, so Alice is saying, hi, Sophie. Both of her checks are at the end of the month. She used the money to pay the next month's expenses, which is pretty much like a lot of what I do too, because a lot of our money comes in at the end and the beginning of the month. And that's how we use our month head account. We did a class on how to get 1 month ahead, and that's mainly why. It's because our money is so random and sporadic throughout the course of the month. So that class may be able to help you too. I have a video on how we got 1 month ahead as well. At the end of the year, do you have a class on starting the year off right, terms of automating process, setting up for success? I am planning on doing an annual end like class. So I do something every year where I analyze our budget at the end of the year, and I'm preparing for the next year, like setting up sinking funds. Like it's a list of things that I do in order to kind of like refresh, restart, and get ready for the new year. I am planning on doing a class that will help you guys with planning for an entire year, because we are normally thinking about our budget on a month-to-month basis, and that's good. That's a great start. But when you plan on a year, like you're planning your entire year, that's a game changer. It really, really is, because you're able to plan at so much more of a higher level, and you're able to look at things much more effectively when you're planning for an entire year. So we're definitely going to get into that and talk about that. I do the credit card hacking with one of my credit cards. Missed the first one. Yeah, credit card hacking is a great, great way to like get some, be able to save money too. You just have to be really, really careful with it. So I'm going to send you my email. I don't know, hopefully you can see that, where I just put my email address. And then if you need to email me for the past class that we did on how to get 1 month ahead or rebuilding your credit, I can send that to you. All right. So credit card hacking, in case you've never heard of it before, it is a system that people will do in order to like get points or get the benefits of having a credit card without having to pay the interest on the credit card. So credit card companies, the way that they make money is they will like offer you all of these benefits, right? They'll say, oh, you get free miles, you can get this, you can get that, but they know that they're going to make money off of you, because you're not going to pay their you're not going to pay the balance in full, and then they get the interest off of you. However, if you are able to credit card hack, you pay off the entire balance before they tack on the interest. Before the due date of the card, and you're able to get the points, you're able to get all of the benefits, the cash back, whatever that they may have, whatever rewards they may have, without having to actually pay anything. So it's mainly like almost getting free money from the company. So we can talk about it, and I actually know someone who's really good at it. It's like all she does. So I might try and reach out to her and see if she can join us for that class as well, because she probably have a bunch of tips. So do you think it's a good idea to have Digit while purchasing a home? Yeah, well, Digit is just like an app, and you can move the money back and forth. But you can also do the exact same thing if you're worried about having it in a separate app. Like if you're worried about the bank, if you're purchasing a home and you're worried about the bank seeing the money leave, because I know that that can be an issue. Then another thing that you can do is have it in a separate bank account where the money is sitting there so that they can see that you still have the cash on hand. So that's another way that we can do it. And we're going to talk about that when we're talking about saving for a house, is how to actually have that cash on hand set up so where if the bank is looking, you definitely have the money there. Liz, you do not need to re-register every single week for Money Monday. If you register for Money Monday one time, then what ends up happening is you're automatically added to the email list, and then you get an email from me every single Monday telling you what today's class is going to be, and you also get the replays every single Tuesday. So you don't have to register. All you have to register is one time, and then you'll always get it unless you opt out. Will we have access to the video on how to save 1 month ahead? Yes, I do have a YouTube video on how to save 1 month ahead. We did do a class as well. So if you're a part of Time Academy, you automatically have access to the class, but I can also send the YouTube video if you guys want that one as well, and the rebuilding credit video. Can you do a class on employer benefits, 401k, pension, HSA, life insurance? So I can do, we did do one on retirement. We can do one on employer benefits. The thing is, I haven't worked for someone in quite some time, so I might have to see if I can find an expert in that area that may be able to help us. But we did do one on retirement a couple of classes ago. Someone who helped us out with how to set it up properly. I get paid on the 25th, with most bills are due between the last week and the first week of the next month, but living continues until the 25th again. So I would definitely advise you to check out the 1 month ahead video that I'm going to send out, because what I do is we usually will pay all of our bills with the month ahead account and then save for next month with that account. And I also use it as like a short-term savings account, which we're getting into that in our next class. In our next class, we're definitely going to talk about that. Oh, you can't see my email. I'm going to send it to you again, but it's Alaina@theorganizedmoney.com. Alaina@theorganizedmoney.com is my email address. Getting some tips on how to budget and stay on top of budget would be great. So we're definitely going to, this is our savings series, but I'm going to do a budgeting series as well, to talk a little bit more on like the mental side of budgeting. So a lot of times it's not about the actual money that you have. It's not about the income. It's not about the expenses. It's about the mindset. It's about how to stop impulsive shopping. And so we're going to dive into that as well, like how to stop yourself from the emotional spending, the impulsive shopping, the just shopping on Amazon, like different things that kind of can trigger us. The triggers are what we need to get in control of more than anything else. So we're going to dive into mindset. So it's going to be like a budgeting / mindset series. Do you have a resource that can help repair credit? I do. Her name is Malika, and I will send it out tomorrow. She is the go-to guru for credit repair. Linda is already putting it in there, but she is a great resource to help you like kind of set everything up for credit repair. So you can pay for Time Academy in advance. Instead of it doing $20 a month, you can do it for the entire year. I just have to see and make sure that it's set up. But you could do it for the entire year, and I believe you will get a discount if you decide to do it that way. So if you decide to, I want to say it's like a 16% discount or something like that. So instead of $240, it's like 16% less, I believe. But I can send you the details on that and make sure that it's set up. So Deanna, if you are set up with Tom, you got to remember Tom Squad is different from Tom Academy. So I'm going to have to message you offline to see how to get you set up for Tom Academy. Tom Squad is the $5, $10 level that I have. That's just about the planning stickers. So if you're interested in you just love planning and you like stickers and you just want a monthly sticker subscription, that's what Tom Squad is. And that's the $5 or $10 level. The $20 Tom Academy are the classes and the downloads and the one-on-one. That's when we're actually having like classes together and talking about different things. But if you signed up for Tom Squad, but you really wanted Tom Academy, message me. I can refund the Tom Squad side and get you signed up on the right one, the Tom Academy. Have you covered how to set up a budget for business versus personal? I have not. That is a good topic because I do my business stuff. I do a lot of it online, but I do have some paper side to how I plan for my business. So we could definitely talk about that. If that's a topic that y'all are interested in, we definitely could talk about how to set up for a business. And I believe that everyone should have some type of side hustle, some type of side business, having one source of income. We don't want to do that, especially now that we realized in 2020 how much it could possibly hurt us. So definitely doing something like that. Okay, so Patreon, if you've never heard of the topic, it's a site where you can do monthly subscriptions for different creators. So the Patreon is just the name of the site that I'm on. But it's a community that everyone can kind of talk to everybody on there. I kind of will give them information, downloads, access to classes. It's a site that we're all on. So I always send it. It's usually going to be at the very bottom of my emails. So I will definitely do that on tomorrow too. Thank you so much, Camilla. I'm glad that this is helping you. Thank you for the hair compliment, appreciate it. When is the mindset course? So the mindset is so this is the way we're going. We're going savings, the next 2 classes, because this was the first class. The next 2 classes are going to be on savings. Then after that, we're going to go into mindset because we're going to be talking about different things that will help you kind of get the money mindset that you want, growth versus fixed mindset, just kind of digging into that. Then we're going to go into, I want to say after that is our annual budgeting series. So the different things that you can do to get set up for the next year. So we have savings, then mindset, then the annual, let's get ready for 2021. Let's pray that 2021 is better than 2020, right? So that's kind of where we're going. And of course, I'm adding to my list all of the different ones that you suggest to me. So like the business versus personal, how do I plan? How do we budget for business expenses? I'm going to add that to my list. I'm going to add all of the different suggestions that you give me. So please keep them coming, because since we do this class every single week, I am always looking for suggestions, always looking for them. Yeah, and if you haven't checked out my YouTube channel, definitely check out my YouTube channel. I post videos every Tuesday and Friday over there, and I'm always talking about money and planning stuff over there as well. Yes, Alice, we're definitely going to do talk a little bit more about the money personalities when we get into our money mindset series, because money personalities was a huge game changer, especially for me and my husband when we was trying to budget together and figure it out. I also did my homework on what's my money type. I'm a combination. Is that possible? That is possible. So most people have a primary money personality and a secondary money personality. So you are not the same at any given circumstance. If you think about it, this is how buyer's remorse happens. If I go into a store and I want all the things while I'm in the store, then I will make a bunch of purchases, and then when I'm in the parking lot, I usually regret it. That's usually because two money personalities are fighting each other. That means I can be a spender while I'm in the store, and then I can regret it because I'm actually a saver outside of the store. Depends on what's your primary money personality and your secondary money personality. And we're going to talk about how to fix that. If you are one of those people that always have buyer's remorse, it's usually because you have two money personalities that are fighting each other, that are both trying to win in certain circumstances. So that's going to be in our money mindset series. Yvonne, I will send out the information for Tom Academy. It's going to be at the bottom of tomorrow's email. Can you preview your stickers and where to sign them? I can send y'all. I never usually send stuff for Tom Squad just because I assume this audience was not interested, but I can send that as well to show you guys the different stickers that I have for Tom Squad. And then y'all know, if you follow me on Instagram, that I was just featured with Happy Planner. Happy Planner I've been a Happy Planner for about 6 years, and I was just featured on their creator spotlight because of my stickers. So I will definitely send that out tomorrow as well. How far in advance should a person plan out their budget? So it depends. I like to plan out my entire year and then plan out month by month, which is why we are talking about the annual budgeting series that's coming up after our money mindset series. And that's because I feel like planning your entire year is a game changer when it comes down to your money. You can really start making some really good decisions when you are looking at net worth, when you're looking at your overall big numbers instead of worrying about just this week. So millionaires plan like 5-10 years ahead. So we want to start thinking like that. I like to plan at least 1 year. So I'm going to say 1 year. Good. You started putting together your DIY budget book. Can you do a class on side hustles? I can. We have done one before, but we can do another one. We haven't done one in a minute. I think that was like one of the first Money Mondays that we did. Are there any apps on planning and budgeting? There are a bunch. And I just did my last YouTube video last week was on apps that will help you with budgeting and planning. So I will send that out in the email tomorrow as well. Yeah, Danielle is saying, just uploaded a YouTube video, yeah, on the apps that I use for planning and budgeting. So I can send that out as well. Money personality. These classes will always be at 4 p.m. Central on Mondays. So that's just the best time for me to be able to jump on here. And then Wednesdays classes will always be at 6:30 because that's the time that I'm usually on with Tom Academy. Are the dates posted somewhere so I can keep track? So I always put up a schedule, and it's like my weekly schedule, and I can attach that tomorrow too, but I usually will post that on Instagram, where I am posting my entire schedule for the week, and you know what time, what type of content, what's going on YouTube, what's on Money Monday, what email I'm sending out on Thursday, because I usually will do something every Monday through Friday. Some type of content is coming out. So Mondays is Money Monday, Tuesday is YouTube, Wednesday I'm usually doing some type of Instagram video, Thursday is email, and then Friday is YouTube again. So those are the 5 areas where I am. And I always have a schedule. It's usually on Instagram in my stories, but I will send it to you guys. It'll be an attachment tomorrow as well. Malika, I'm going to send out her information on tomorrow. I want to say the business It's not, it's something else. Teresa, are you still on? Can you say what's the name of Malika's credit repair shop if you have it? Oh, she is Malika Honoré on there as well. So it's Melika, and it's Honore Credit, Honore Credit, and she is the credit person that I usually always recommend. She's really, really great at it. So Liz, how do you learn about money personalities? I always send out, I have a complete YouTube series on it, on money personalities, the 5 that there are, and how to figure out if you are, which one you are. But we're definitely going to get into that in our mindset series as well. But I can send out the money personalities. Oh, I'm glad you're excited about the classes that we're doing. So, Leslie, if you are buying all Happy Planner things and you regret it, then we need to talk about how to either use it or how to stop buying it. We can talk about that. So currently, because Tom Squad is different levels, I don't have a bundled program for both, but that's a good idea. Maybe I should have a bundled program for both. So, in which Tom Squad is more, it's the stickers, and then Tom Academy is the classes. But I might put out a survey, and if y'all are interested in that, then I can definitely do a bundled program. I will email the content schedule, and I usually send that out on Mondays. So I'm going to send that out. I usually post it on Sundays and Mondays on Instagram. So I'm going to send it to you instead. So then that way y'all know what content I have going on. Okay. All right, guys. I'm sorry. I know there's like 62 messages. I can't go through them all. But if I did not get to your question, please, please, please email me. Please email me. It's Alaina at theorganizedmoney.com. If you had a question and I did not get to it, because I see that there were a couple of them on here, but it's 5 o'clock and I don't like to keep y'all too far over the time because I want y'all to make sure y'all come back. Okay, thank you so much. Make sure that you email me and I will definitely get all of this back out to you on tomorrow along with the replay of this class, and I will see you guys next week. Until then, and if you're Tom Academy, I'll see you Wednesday. Bye guys, thank you so much.